Hey friend, I was writing this morning in the cafe about what it is that real growth is and what we're doing and why it's so deeply meaningful to me. And I think for a long time there's such an inherent feeling of meaning, but to be able to articulate that is another thing. And I think this is one of my favorite articulations of what it is that we're doing, because it's quite often that people come to us and they're aware that there's a difference, that what we're doing here has a very different taste or flavor, or they can tell. Um, and I want to share what I was writing this morning. So it's this idea that a book is a tool to extract meaning out of your experience, and real growth is a system to be able to profit from that. And so if we look at, the ultimate expression of life would be to create great wealth and abundance, doing what is most meaningful and fulfilling to you. And what would be more meaningful than to support people through the greatest void that you once had and transform it into your vehicle for the creation of the greatest amount of value for yourself? And then to be held accountable to your continued growth to the absolute highest standard by the very space that you've created. See, an education business is one of the most intense growth journeys that anyone could go on. And it's got probably one of the most generous compensation plans as well. And what we really do here at Real Growth is, we help people take the greatest and most meaningful void in their life and turn it into their greatest value and give them a vehicle to profit from it. And if we think about the creation of meaning and what meaning is, it's our ability to create meaning out of our experience is truly what separates us from the animals. To be able to synthesize both sides of life, not to be in these polarized perceptions, but be able to see the hidden order and in the apparent chaos of life. That's what puts us in the higher mind. And when we're in the higher mind and not in the amygdala, we're much more likely to overcome all the inevitable challenges and obstacles that are going to be in our way. And I think that's really beautiful, and if we're talking about, art, which is such a huge value in what we're creating. And if we were to think about what true art is it's not merely beauty or solely aesthetics. It's not a skill, but it can definitely be acquired. And art for me is the process of making meaning out of life, of creating meaning from the great void that we have. And that's what makes art great. And I believe that's what compels us about Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan, Bukowski, Kerouac. And it's our ability to create art, which is meaning, as the most fundamental part of what separates us from the animals and what makes us human. And, you know, that's really what real growth is. It's a machine of meaning to take the greatest void in your life and then to turn it into a vehicle to drive the greatest amount of value and profit for yourself in the world. And for me, that's the pure definition of what art is. Um, and that's, in my opinion, exactly what it is that makes us human. And that's why I'm so inspired about what we're creating.